From my 1 year working at McDonald's, I've had a ton of interesting interactions with customers. For the most part, the people I serve are just regular folks. They come in, get their food, and head out, but not always. And that's what I want to talk about today. So, for my first story, let me give a little context. I work the closing shift, the latest shift that we have at our McDonald's since the store isn't open 24/7, usually from around 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. And let's just say a lot of people who can show up around that time are either high or drunk. And trust me, we can smell it. Honestly, it's a bit concerning, but that's probably a topic for another time. Anyway, this night started out just like any other. We were getting ready to close. It was around 11 p.m. and we shut down at midnight. But this time we forgot to lock the lobby doors. And that's where things started to go wrong. So this guy walks in, I'd say probably like short white guy, late 20s, and you could tell he was on something. He had like some weird, like off balance energy. He was jittery, he was talkative, eyes a little too wide. At first, he seemed normal enough, so we figured out he just didn't realize we were about to close and took his order anyways. But that's when things got weird. He got very chatty while ordering, like flirting with my manager, chatty. And it was really uncomfortable because this random dude just strolls in out of nowhere, clearly not sober, and starts flirting with her like he's at a bar. Like, what the fuck? But nonetheless, we continue serving him. From what I remember, he ordered something like stupid simple, like a McChicken and a small coffee. And while we were talking to him while taking his order, he started saying all sorts of things. Like how he supposedly had a wife and kid, which is insane to me because here he is at 11 p.m., probably high, sitting in a McDonald's ordering a McChicken. I'm just gonna assume for my own sanity that he was lying because I'd honestly feel bad for his kids. Then, out of nowhere, he also asked if we were hiring. Like, didn't you just finish flirting with my manager? Do you really want a job here? That caught me off guard, but I just told them to like look on our website or something because that's just the easiest way to get rid of that situation. Anyway, we let him stay for about 30 minutes to eat his food. Once he was done, we asked him to leave, and at first he seemed fine with it. My manager asked me to close the door behind him, so I walked over and waited for him to step out. But right as he was walking out, he suddenly turns around and goes, "Yo, you got a problem? You want to fight? What are you trying to do?" Now, keep in mind the description I gave earlier. Short, skinny guy, clearly on something, so I wasn't sure if to be scared or just confused. Like, yeah, he was smaller than me, but also if he was on something like crack, that kind of fight wouldn't end until somebody had died. So I just told him, "Nah, man, I'm just closing the door behind you." And he goes, "Oh, okay," and walks away. Um, at the same time, my heart skipped a beat. My anxiety was through the roof, and it was a very interesting night, to say the least. The next story happened probably during my first month working at McDonald's, so I was still pretty new to the job. It was just a few minutes before closing when this person came in and placed a huge order. Like, I'm talking like a 20-piece chicken nugget, two large fries, a few McChickens, and I think a meal deal or something. I don't remember exactly, but it was a lot. So, of course, it took us a while to get everything ready for her. We ended up finishing the order a few minutes after closing, which had me already kind of frustrated because, it's the end of the shift. I'm tired. I just want to clean up and go home. And now I had to serve a massive order right before closing. Anyway, we gave her her food and she drives off. But not even 30 seconds later, I can see her car racing back up to the second window. Apparently, she thought we had forgotten to give her her sauces. Now, what I did next is something you should never do in fast food. If a customer says you forgot something small, like a sauce packet, straw, or napkin, don't argue. Just give it to them so they can leave. Trust me, it's not worth it. But of course, I learned that the hard way. So she pulls up, clearly angry, and she was definitely high, like, no question. She's smoking, she's yelling, and there's even a kid in the back seat. She screams to me, "You didn't give me any of my sauces." But me, being new and naive, said, "No, I definitely did give you your sauces." She goes, "No, you didn't. I'm gonna check this bag myself." So, so she starts digging through the bag, and sure enough, the sauces were there. But in the process of looking for the sauces, she was shaking the fries around, just spilling them everywhere inside her bag. By the time she finally finds the sauces, she looked down to see all her loose fries and just loses it. She grabs the empty large fry container and throws it at me through the window, yelling, "You didn't give me any of my fries." Now, I know I gave her fries. She just dumped them all over her bag. But before I could even react, she throws the entire fucking bag at the window. Fries going fucking everywhere. At that point, I called my manager because, yeah, this was way beyond my fucking pay grade, even though they get paid only like $1 more than me, but that's besides the point. Anyways, my manager came over and handled it as calmly as possible while still being sided with me, though she didn't say that out loud, obviously, because this woman was demanding new food. So my manager remade the order just to get her out of here, thankfully handling it for me, because I don't think that woman wanted to see me again. By the time everything was cleaned up, it was like 1:30 in the morning. I probably lost about 30 minutes of time just dealing with her, including cleaning up her mess. Okay, last but not least, this one was honestly one of my worst experiences working at McDonald's. So it was right in the middle of rush hour. Everything that I could possibly be beeping is beeping. The fryers, the timers, the headset, all going off at once. We were being slammed with orders, and I was doing my best to move fast, take orders, and keep everything going. A customer pulls up to the speaker, and I do what I always do. I ask what they like to order, I start entering it, and everything seems fine. But out of nowhere, this lady just starts screaming, "Can you let me do my order? Why are you cutting me off?" And I'm standing here like, what? I didn't even realize it was cutting her off. I never heard her say anything, so my best guess is that our mic was just too low or headset has too much latency. Either way, I didn't mean to interrupt her. Anyways, she drives up to the first window, that's the cashier window, and starts yelling again. But here's the thing, she's yelling at the wrong person. The person that is at the window, my coworker Jose, who by the way recently quit. Rest in peace, Jose. We miss you. Um, he wasn't even the one who took her order. So Jose tries to calm her down, saying, "Ma'am, I'm not the person you were talking to." And she goes, "Then get me that person." So Jose calls me over, saying, "Hey, there's somebody at the window asking for you." So for some reason, and I still don't know why, I went up to talk to her. And the second she saw me, she fucking lost it. She just starts full on screaming, "Why the hell did you keep cutting me off? Why are you so bad at your job? What the fuck is wrong with you? Who trained you? How were you even trained like that?" Like, just full volume in my face, fucking screaming. And I'm standing there just trying to keep together while the drive-through headset is still going off with the new car at the speaker. Um, that one was the worst one. Because unlike most of the other situations, this one made absolutely no sense. I wasn't rude. I wasn't rushing her. She just decided to just go off. It was pure harassment. Eventually, my manager had to step in and tell her to leave because she wouldn't stop yelling. And eventually, she did leave, but she really didn't make it easy. And by the end of all that, my manager just looks at me and says, "What the hell happened?" and explaining everything to her. It was just, we were all confused, I believe. Anyways, this is it for this video. If you enjoyed these type of videos where it's kind of like more story time rather than gameplay oriented, please let me know. This was very experimental. I had another video planned out for today, but I just couldn't get around to finishing it. So this is kind of an in-place video until I get the other video set up. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, just let me know.